Hey, yo guys, it's Slyroh. You already know that today I am bringing you a Wi-Fi battle with the one and only NumbNexus. This one is a UU battle that I had yesterday, and yes, it has been a while since I've done a regular Wi-Fi battle because all of my competitive content has been focused on the PPL, the Pokemon Premier League. That is soon ending, so I've actually been racking up a lot of Wi-Fi battles, and yeah, I got a chance to battle NumbNexus, and it was a fantastic battle. It was such a great battle. It was really close. You guys are definitely going to want to stick to the end to see the result and to see how it all went down. But yeah, so go ahead and I'm going to get this up now instead of waiting for the PPL to be over, because it was just that good of a battle. But yeah, there will be more Wi-Fi battles in the future. Before we get into this, if you do want to have a chance to Wi-Fi battle me, the best way is to follow me on Twitter, which is among the many links in the description below. And yeah, I tweet out battles, and you can always just hit me up, and if I'm free, I'm usually down, so I'm pretty chill with that. But let's go ahead and get on to this match. This is, of course, a UU match, and this team that I'm bringing against Nexus was a team that I used before, and it seemed to work pretty well. But I don't know, I just kind of took some Pokemon that I had and just kind of threw them together, and it kind of made up a decent team. Of course, this team isn't perfect, but you know, it seems to do its job well. It seems to work pretty well. But yeah, so I am bringing, let's see, that is a max HP, max attack, Shell Smash, Cloyster, especially defensive Amoonguss, a Choice Scarfed, Modest Nidoking, that is a Focus Sash, Special Infernape, an Assault Vest Tentacruel, which you'll see that come into play, and then a Curse, Rest Talk, Registeel. That's especially defensive as well, I think. So I don't really have any physical walls, which is a problem because, as you see, Nexus actually has a Darmanitan, and that is a huge issue for my team. Darmanitan can definitely run through my team, so that was a big threat right off the bat. But of course, there's other Pokemon there are the Florges, Donphan, Suicune, Doublade, and Absol. So, looking at his team, I really wasn't sure what he might want to lead off with. I thought that the Darmanitan was probably likely, especially if it was Scarfed, because, you know, U-turn. Or he could go start out with Absol and just straight up go try and get his Mega Evolution off right away. I decided that Cloyster was the best thing to lead off with. We're going to go ahead, let's just start the battle. I decided that Cloyster was the best thing to lead off with, to put initial pressure, and because Cloyster was probably the only thing that could take a hit from Darmanitan right off the bat. So that's why I led off with Cloyster, and he did actually decide to lead off with Absol. I was pretty sure he wasn't going to stay in, but the problem is I couldn't go for a Shell Smash right away because I have the White Herb and I didn't want to waste it, and he has Doublade and Suicune, both which completely stopped this thing. So I wanted to save my Shell Smash for later, so I just went for the safe Ice School Spear. If he wanted to stay in and get his Mega Evolution off, I would get some damage off on his Absol. And if he wanted to switch out, then I get some chip damage, and I just kind of get to scout for what he wants to do. Now, on this turn, I actually make a bit of an offensive switch. I thought he was going to start setting up Sword Stances, and I wanted something to take him down as soon as possible. So I actually went into Nidoking because I have Flamethrower on the Nidoking, but he actually switched out and went into the, I think that's the Darmanitan, and that is not okay. That's no bueno for me. I want to keep this Nidoking alive. It can do a lot of work to his team, so I go ahead and switch right out into what I think that could take on a Scarf Darmanitan, that being Registeel. Thankfully, he went for U-turn, so I didn't need to see how much a Flare Blitz was going to do, because it would probably still body this Registeel. Wouldn't one-shot, but it would probably be a 2-hit KO, honestly, because this isn't a physically defensive Registeel. And he actually goes into Absol, which was perfect, because I have the Curse, and I was like, now is a perfect time to start setting up Curses. So that is exactly what I'm going to go and do, while he actually starts setting up Sword Stances. I am getting a little bit ahead of myself, but he is going to go ahead and get the Mega off. I knew I could take this thing on, and I could just get up Curses myself. And yeah, Absol is pretty frail, so I knew that I would need less Curses set up than he would need Sword Stances set up in order to take him on. After him seeing the Curse, I thought that he would switch into something, and I wanted to scout for that, so I just went for an attack to get more chip damage. This turn I am going to go for the Iron Head because, like I said, I thought he was going to switch out, and I just wanted to get some sort of chip damage. But he actually goes for Knockoff, which almost does half. That does about half, and it gets rid of my leftovers, which means that another powerful attack could take me out. I don't know if this was a roll or not. But Sucker Punch here, he's going to go for, because I do go for Iron Head, and it does not quite take me out. So I actually take out Mega Absol right away. That crit didn't matter, of course, because you saw how much the first one did. But yeah, but now the fact that I don't have leftovers means that this Registeel is basically useless. I went for a rest this turn just in case he wanted to be cheeky and set up something, or maybe be cocky, go for Ice Shard, and I live it. But there was no way. That was not going to happen. So I just decided to sack Registeel, which kind of sucked. Means I had literally really not much for the Darmanitan, even less. I go ahead into Cloyster because it's the thing that puts the most pressure on him, in my opinion. And this time, he actually goes out to Suicune. And again, I really wasn't sure about this play. I wanted to go for a Rock Blast. I wanted to double switch, but I just went for the safe Icicle Spear because I just figured it was my safest play. And I knew that I would have things to deal with the Suicune if it did come in, and I would have things to deal with the Doublade if it came in as well. So I decided to play it safe once again, and this time to take on the Suicune, I'm going to decide to switch into my Tentacruel, because I have an Assault Vest Tentacruel, and I have Giga Drain, so I can outstall this thing, I believe. With Acid Spray, you know, I can lower its special defense faster than it can raise its special defense. And it's going to be all fine and dandy. He actually gets the burn first turn, which if there's anything on my team that could get burned, Tentacruel is probably the one that I cared the less about it getting burned. Because, you know, I had recovery, and Suicune's not going to be doing a lot. So, yeah. I was like, you know what, that's alright, we'll live with it. And I go ahead for the Acid Spray. He probably wasn't expecting that. I don't think he was. Because he went for the Calm Mind. I don't know how many people really run like the Acid Spray set for Tentacruel, and I think this Tentacruel is max HP, max special attack. I don't even think this has any special defense investment. So I'm going to be doing even more damage. And I might even be Modest as well. I think this is like max HP, max special attack, Modest, Assault Vest. Moveset being Scald, Acid Spray, Giga Drain, and Rapid Spin. I do have the Rapid Spin on this thing. On this team, I actually have a way to set up rocks and get rid of them. I have Stealth Rocks on the Infernape as well as Rapid Spin on the Tentacruel. So I think they work really well together. But right now, it's just kind of stally. We're kind of attacking and not attacking. Just trying to see if we can 1v1 the other person. But I go for another Acid Spray, and this puts him basically at -3. He's at -3 special defense. And he's just straight up going for the attacks, maybe not expecting a Giga Drain, maybe not knowing that Tentacruel can have Giga Drain. But yeah, if I'm going to be running an Assault Vest, I want some sort of recovery on this thing. So I do indeed go for the Giga Drain here, and I really thought this was a crit. I thought there was no way this was going to take the Suicune out. But at -3, I do actually take it out, no crit, and the Suicune, one of the biggest threats in UU, and a Pokemon that I usually have a hard time facing, is down. So, I found myself a pretty decent Suicune counter, but of course he could have switched out at any time into anything else, but he didn't want anything to get burned, things like that. He brings out the Florges, which I thought was interesting. I thought he could have just went into Darmanitan and just Earthquaked me and took me out. That would have, I think, been his better play, but he does decide to go into the Florges, and I'm like, alright, well, I'm going to start lowering your special defense. That way I can come in with Nidoking and just straight up take you out. So that's basically my plan here, but I know that I do want to get some sort of chip damage off just to make sure that I can take him out even better. That, and he kind of went for Wish, so I was kind of going a little bit for a burn here, which I do get. I guess that kind of makes it even for the burn I got. I don't know, we both got burns on our special walls. Not that this is a special wall, but anything that can take special hits, they're both burned. So, it is what it is. I knew he was going to go for the Protect this turn, but there was really no sense in me saving the Tentacruel for later. There was no point at all. So I just decided to let it die here. It did its job. It wasn't going to do too much to the rest of his team. I could have gotten a Scald Burn maybe on Doublade, but he has Shadow Sneak, I'm assuming, so at this point. So I figured there was no point. I let Tentacruel go down, and that is what it is. So, it's really close already. Hasn't been too many deaths, but it's about to ramp up just a little bit here. So I actually go into Nidoking. I'm pretty sure that I could take him out with a Sludge Wave from here. So I do actually go for the Sludge Wave, and he stays in. And at -2 special defense, that is going to take out the Florges. I don't know if he forgot the Acid Spray was up, or if he figured that he didn't need this thing. But that is what it is, and he actually goes into Donphan. I am choiced, so I'm going to switch out. Also, I think I had calced at some point earlier in the match, and I wanted to see if Ice Beam could OHKO, and it does not. So I go into Cloyster, because Cloyster can take a hit, and as you see with this Earthquake, holy crap, look at that. That does nothing. I have no defense investment, it's just max HP. Now, I figured this is the best time for me to try and go for a Shell Smash. This time, Cloyster's staying in until he dies. That's what it is. I figured Cloister is putting a lot of pressure. At some point, I need to actually get up a Shell Smash and see how much damage I can do, how much holes I can punch through his team before trying to clean up with something else. So I do get the Shell Smash up, so I am at +2 everything, and I go for the Icicle Spear, knowing that, of course, it's not going to kill him or anything, but it is going to do a decent chunk. And this turns out to be pretty interesting because he goes for Gyro Ball, which he really thought was going to take me out, and maybe if I was max attack, max speed Cloister, it would have, but since I have no speed investment, even after +2, that's not going to take me out. So I don't know if that's what mattered. If I had max speed, maybe it wouldn't have taken me out, maybe it would have. I honestly have no idea, but I think that's the reason why I did live. So max HP, max attack, Cloister coming through, and again, I'm just getting off as much damage as I can. He goes for the Sacred Sword, which I was sure was going to take me out, but I actually live on 4 HP, but of course I'm not going to get another hit off because he does have the Shadow Sneak. However, this Doublade is at pretty low health range, and with no way to recover, it can easily die to anything. I went for a Heat Wave here, hoping that he might try and like set up, well, not set up, but I don't know, I thought he might go for a more powerful move, or that maybe he would switch so I could keep my Focus Sash intact, but he does decide to get the chip damage, does break my Focus Sash, but I do take out the Doublade. Unfortunately, Infernape now, because it doesn't have his Sash, isn't really going to be that useful. So I just decide again with Infernape to stay in until it dies, do as much damage as I can until it dies. So I go for the Heat Wave, which does more than half to the Donphan, but his Earthquake is going to take me out. That, I think, was good for me. I also went into Infernape that way, in case he didn't get any damage off with the Doublade, I could live an Earthquake from either Donphan or Darmanitan and just get a lot of damage off. But this is the way that things went down, and I actually went out into Amoonguss. Didn't want to go out into Nidoking yet. I could have went into Nidoking and went for Ice Beam, but this was the safer play because, you know, Donphan can have like Ice Shard, as well as, I don't know if it had, I don't exactly know, but I just figured this was the safer play. I knew that Giga Drain could take it out, and I was really hoping that Amoonguss might be able to live a hit from Darmanitan. I figured it's probably not going to take a Flare Blitz, but who knows? Maybe he'll go for something else. Maybe he'll go for an Earthquake, but nah. He went straight for a Fire Punch, and that's just going to take me out. However, that does mean that he has Fire Punch over Flare Blitz, which I'm actually personally a fan of. I usually run Fire Punch over Flare Blitz as well, because I don't like recoil damage, but it is going to matter because my Nidoking is at full health, and as you see, this Fire Punch will not take me out. I really thought that was going to take me out. From the calcs I was doing, it said that I had like an 18% chance to live, like, so I think he might have gotten a low roll there, I don't know, but Earth Power is going to one-shot him, and yeah, we got the really close 1-0 victory against Nexus here. So that was intense. That was probably one of the most intense battles that I've had in quite a while in terms of regular Wi-Fi battles. I do kind of enjoy this team. I think this team could be tweaked a little bit, and I am working on getting just a lot more competitive sets in my boxes, like in my games. That way I can have more options for when I throw teams together. But this team seems to work decently well. I know I watched Nexus's video, and he pointed out that I have a pretty big psychic weakness, and that Azelf really destroys my team, which it 100% does. A mixture of Psychic and Fire Blast, or Psyshock and Fire Blast. It's not pretty for my team. So yeah, this team is not perfect, but I kind of got lucky. I had a decent team matchup. So yes, I'm gonna stop rambling. Go ahead and, you know, check Nexus' side of the battle if you have not already. His links will be in the description below. And Nexus, if you are watching, I should have said this at the beginning, but if for anyone who watched Nexus' side of the video, or if he himself is watching this to this point, I did want to apologize for all the time that I took making my moves. I didn't realize I was taking so long for some of them. There was one time that I was trying to calc something and the website wouldn't load for me, but the other times I was just sitting there thinking, and I didn't realize how annoying that could be. So I'm definitely going to keep that. I'm going to keep that in consideration for future battles. But either way, that is going to wrap up today's video. Let me know what you thought about the battle in the comment section below. Go ahead, leave a like and share your support, all that good stuff. Again, if you would like to battle me, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Wait for me to tweet out battles, or just straight up tweet at me asking for a battle, and I will most likely be down to battle you if I am free. So I'm going to stop rambling on. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, guys, stay sly.